Alright, I got a lot of stuff on my desk right here. And so I just wanted to talk about why aren't there like a lot of mania keypads, controllers, like dedicated input devices that aren't just like keyboards. So I know we have a lot of OSU keypads that are either like, 2 keys or 3 keys. Some people play like this. And there was like the whole Wooting keyboard. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but that actually started off for Fortnite players. In that game, you can play on keyboard and mouse, or you can play on controller. And with controller, you have this 360-degree input, and that just gives you like a whole advantage with like building and everything. On keyboard, you don't really have that. They did add like double movement. That's a whole different thing, but essentially like with the analog key support on the like wooden keyboards, you can like press it a little bit and it kind of acts like a controller. So that's where that all came from. And then there was like the thing with like rapid trigger or something like that. That kind of helps with speed in this game. I'm not really sure. I probably won't ever buy a wooden keyboard just because like I'm not really focused on speed like that. I did make a few videos about like playing with the Wii remote. This is not viable. I don't know. It was just like a fun idea. For 4K and 7K, this usually isn't a problem because you got 2 here, 2 there. Not a big deal. With 7K you got the space bar. But with 10K and like 10 plus, when you're like moving between the rows and stuff, you can kind of see like how you see the rows are not like a straight above each other, kind of like on the, oh my god, this keyboard, the number pad is. So yeah, that causes like, it's not an issue really, but it's a little uncomfortable or whatever. So there are ortholinear keyboards, which I'll put a picture up here. This is the one I did have, and you can see the same key. You can see the same keycaps, but everything with like custom keyboards and stuff like this was a custom keyboard. I had to build it and everything. There's always either an issue with the polling rate or chord splitting, and I had to set up this whole thing with the like the keyboard software or whatever, and I got it to 1,000 hertz, I think. But even then, like it was so inconsistent with the timing. It probably still had chord splitting, and I kind of want to mention that real quick before I get into MIDI devices. So even if the keyboard is, let's say, 1,000 hertz, and let's say there's a chord that you have to press with like 8 keys at a time, so you press them all at the same time. That means that this one will activate first, and this one will activate last. So that's like an 8 millisecond delay. Now let's say when you push down at the same time, you also were 8 seconds late. So this one would be 8 seconds or 8 milliseconds. This one would be 16. So you can see like you're starting to spill out of the timing window, So you can't really be as accurate, with hitting chords. Everything's just gonna be off timing, and you'll definitely feel that if you're like even a little bit skilled. So that's why I don't even bother with like custom keyboards, anything in that sort of area. That you're always gonna get into some weird software thing where you're trying to. I guess it's not worth it. So with this keyboard, this is the Magic Force 68. It's fine, it's kind of ugly. It's not my style. This one did have LEDs in it, but I took them out. I replaced the switches like at least like twice, and I bought this keyboard 3 times. I don't know what happened to the third one, but yeah, this is the same keyboard as this. I just like kind of, yeah, but this one it performs really good as far as like accuracy, timing. I've seen like people have issues with durability. There are different variants, so like the I forgot what it's like, the Otemu switches or whatever. Like I had that one. That one broke literally the first day I used it. The other 2 were Gatoron brown, and then you can see I switched to red switches just because they felt better, I guess, and they were cheaper. But it is a lot to like have to replace every single switch, or even just like a row of switches. So yeah, but I mean, other than that, it's been like perfect for like performance and stuff. So what I did with this keyboard, I had some other switches in it that were like some green, whatever, I don't know. Not really into all that. Reds are fine for just like typing. I like linears, definitely. So I took every key out. You can see I put, this is like duct tape, just to cover up the holes that were like on the top part of the case. And so initially I had like 8 keys on this side, and then the space down here, and then 8 more. Because I was thinking like, oh, I'll definitely get into 18K. And then something happened with the soldering. One of these keys just didn't work. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So I took it out, like that whole, like the whole PCB part of the thing is dead. So I took it out, moved the space bars up, and then just like left it like this. So at least they can play 10K. You know, I got the enter key here, arrows, escape. So, you know, it's pretty minimal, but it's got every button you would need, like if you're just like playing maps. And it was good for like the first, like I played a couple of songs on it. It was perfect, you know, like listen to that. Like everything about this, like it just like, it's so much smoother than this. Let me, because this one has like you can see the switches are different. I did this on purpose. It's a whole thing or whatever. Some of these got O-rings under them, some of them don't. And you guys see how I take the spacebar out whenever I'm streaming or whatever. But they just feel mushy when you're just going at it. It's so bad, but this is like so smooth, no resistance. Yeah, it just broke after like 2 or 3 songs, so I don't know. But this was like the closest I had to like a controller or a key input type thing. Yeah, so, and this is like, this has like in 6-key rollover or something. Like when I was playing, you'll see if you watch the previous video, like I could not hit all 8 keys. It was like something like this, and then like over here, I couldn't, but that was an index chart. So at most I was hitting like, you know, 2 note chords for most of that. It was fine. I do want to get into MIDI devices though, so I'll go over to the piano. Now I have been getting into some, you know, 24 key type stuff. You know, I was initially trying to get into 48 key, but I was having issues like finding charts and everything. But anyway, like 24 is enough. So for something like that, like, yeah, these are weighted keys. They don't feel good. This is really for like piano type charts, like in 24 key. So for something like that, it's perfectly fine. You're not going to be hitting super accurately anyways, or super fast for that type of stuff. So it's generally fine. And I'm going to put another picture up on the screen here. These type of devices I see a lot, especially these sort of pseudo piano, but not really, where the keys kind of look, they look a little bit like arcade buttons. So so that might be an option, maybe, but I don't know. Like it just seems like you can never know with these type of things how they actually like feel with like the feedback or what type of switches they use. So that's why I never even bothered with those anyways. And like I don't know if OSU even supports like MIDI type controllers. Like I know SoundSphere does, and I can use it with that. But if I would want to like main that sort of thing, I don't think I would be able to. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to mention with, really, all you can do is just get a keyboard like this where it's 1000 hertz, no chord splitting. And then get a set of keycaps that feels comfortable. Maybe change out the space bar so you don't have to deal with the stabilizers. And that's like the closest you're gonna get until someone actually, you know, builds a 20 key or 24 key type of keypad. Like, it looks something like this to where it's super comfortable. Like you can go up and down without, you know, staggered rows. And the big thing is like, you know, 1000 hertz, no chord splitting, you know, super accurate inputs. Like that's literally all it takes. Yet every single like custom keyboard, you know, whatever, it's always like rock, paper, I don't know, you just get unlucky like all the time. It's either not 1000 hertz or like you got chord splitting issues or it breaks in the first 5 minutes. So yeah, really, if anyone has any advice about buying a keyboard or like what to do or how to deal with something like this, you know, some people just don't have money. Like what's the best way to play on something like this, you know, leave a comment about that. Maybe we can share some ideas, or like if you've been working on a controller, I'd love to see it too. All right.